This is John AudioTech's mechanical exercise bike. Instead of resistive, putting the heat into rubber and friction, he capped an alternator. What did you do to the alternator? Did you take the regulator out and have to go right to the wiring? What specifically?
No.
I see you got some resistors down there.
Yeah, let me explain that. The open frame design of this alternator lets me tap in before the diodes, before it's converted to DC, because you know it's a three-phase generator, essentially what it is. So I'm tapping into one of the phases, and that comes out to this transformer. You might have to lift up, yeah. And that boosts it up to 120 volts.
Just one phase?
Just one of the phases, yeah.
So using one phase and going right into that transformer and coming out AC and using the bulb for a load?
Yeah, this is a 230 volt bulb, because the 120s, when you spin it up, it'll blow them right out. So I actually had a CFL, but it burned out. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Picture of in here.
Now to start this thing, you know, an alternator does not have any means of producing electricity when you start pedaling. It needs a source of electricity to get it going. And once it's going, it's fine. It'll produce electricity on its own.
For the field coils.
Right. So I have a capacitor and a button. And this capacitor stores the charge just enough to get it going. Let's see, I don't know if you can see the size. It's like an 8200 or something like that.
Just a regular electrolytic?
Yep.
What's the voltage in that? 68 volt.
Well, it doesn't matter. Probably a 25 volts good enough. It only needs to hold around 9 to 12 volts or so.
So what does that hook to exactly?
That hooks to the armature or the field coil that spins inside here.
Yeah, because on an alternator, the field coil is actually the spinning part.
Right. You can see the stator windings there. Now, to get the tension just right for riding it, I ride this thing for exercise. I've been doing it for 20 years, 3 times a week. And I added some resistors.
What do they do? I see you got one diode there too.
Yeah, that prevents the startup capacitor from discharging into any loads that I might have on the DC side, because I have a fan up there that cools me. That fan will blow when I'm riding, and it cools me. Otherwise, it's just sweat like crazy.
So is that on the same circuit as this bulb?
No, that's a 12 volt fan. That's direct off the DC of the alternator.
Oh, okay. I'm getting it now. So the bulb is loading the...
Yeah, it offers some load. Actually, most of the energy you produce is dumped right back into to generate the magnetism in the field coil.
What else you got over here?
This is nothing. It's not connected.
Okay.
Now the resistors, yeah, since the alternator is producing DC, rectifying it, and putting it back into that field coil. Okay, the resistors are here. They're 2 1-ohm resistors, 10 watts in parallel. What they do is they limit some of the current going into the field coil. Otherwise, as you speed up, it gets really hard. And it gets the tension just right for, you know, the exercise I want to do. Otherwise, it's a little too hard.
You look at the bike better here.
This bike is pretty ragged. It used to have swinging arms, and the welds broke, and it had a metal bar that broke.
Oh, so you used to be able to do the exercise, your arm exercise too?
Yeah, it had that.
Well, that'd be nice.
I put a new chain on it.
Need to find an old Aerodyne.
Yeah. So let me ride it then. So what I have to do is push the button, but I have to be pedaling. If I push the button now, the capacitor will discharge into an alternator that is not moving and it won't generate anything.
Won't do any good. Won't get it started.
So I have to pedal kind of fast. Now I'll push the button. Now you can see
Oh wow.
the fan's going. It pulls me off. I got a little kind of speed indicator LED and a light down there. I just ride this thing for about, it comes up around 36 or 7 minutes. Listen to some music.
You've done it daily for 20 years?
3 times a week.
3 times a week,
Yeah.
20 years. Pretty cool. Something that's worked. It wasn't too hard to put together.
Yep.
A little fine tuning, that's it.
Bad news is the slip rings are starting to crack on that.
Because it's ancient. You used alternator when you got it. Probably.
Yeah, it's a remanufactured one.
It was officially reman?
Reman, but 20 years of riding on it has worn it down. So I took it apart to lubricate it, and I noticed the crack forming in the slip ring. The brushes are okay though.
And here is John starting his caps because
I discharged the cap, so it won't start the electricity going now. So let's see what happens.
There we go.
Now we can put the bulb back here for next time. So I ride this thing Sunday mornings, Tuesday, and Thursday. And I'll take the regular bike out on the path once or twice a week. And of course I got 3 lawns to take care of, so that's my exercise.